Hello lovelies, good day and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, you're welcome. My name is Uluwatosin, and to all my returning subscribers, you're also welcome. Thank you so much guys for always coming back to watch my videos. Thank you so much for always stopping by my channel. So guys, this is my second video in 2024 and I'm still going to be wishing everyone a happy new year, despite the fact that I wished everyone a happy new year in my previous video as well. So in today's tutorial, we are going to be learning how to cut and sew a simple pencil dress with bell sleeve, just like you are seeing on your screen, and we are going to be using lace fabric for this tutorial. If this sounds like what you are interested in, please come along with me, and without further ado, let's jump right into the video. We are going to be using this navy blue lace fabric, and then we are going to be using doll face as our lining. This dress is not going to be double lined, it's going to be single lined, and then this tulle net is going to serve as our sleeve. The basic measurements required to measure on anybody when you want to achieve a dress like this are the full length, the bust, the waist, the half length, the hip, the shoulder, the armhole, and basically the sleeve length. Not to worry, I'm going to list all of it on the screen. So with this knowledge, you are going to check out for the height measurement between the bust, waist and hip. In this case, it's the person's hip. It might happen to be the person's bust. Whatever is the highest measurement, just measure it and then add 12 inches. Fold that into 4, leaving zipper allowance at the back, just like I did. The next thing to do is to measure our shoulder, not starting from the zipper allowance. Look at where I started my one from. So measure the shoulder. Then measure the armhole, the shoulder divided by 2, the armhole divided by 2, and then you mark. The next is to measure our bust divided by 4, then you mark, add 1.5 inch sewing allowance to that. After then, measure our waist divided by 4, then add 1.5 inch allowance to that as well. There's something called first hip. I call it first hip. It's actually the skirt waist, but I consider it whenever I'm sewing a fitted dress like this. It's just the in between the hip and then the waist. So this person's first hip, I measured it, I divided it by 4, then I added 1.5 inch sewing allowance. Then the actual hip, I divided it by 4, I added 1.5 inch sewing allowance. The next is to connect these 4 points together, and then depending on how pencil you want the lower part of this dress to be, you are just going to chalk it down depending on how pencil you want it to be. So moving back to the neckline, it is a round neck, just like you can see from the video, and then it is high neck. So I used 7 for the width, on fold of 4 is 3.5, and then 3 for the depth at the front, then 2 for the depth at the back. So firstly, I'm going to be cutting front and back together, and then I'm just going to raise up the front a little and proceed to cutting it more. The next is to slant the shoulder towards the neckline. After then, open up the zip allowance. Proceeding to cutting the lining, don't forget I said we are going to be using doll face to line this dress. So I don't want the lining to start from the neckline. I want it to start like 6 inches downward. So I marked 6 inches downward from the shoulder line, and that is where the lining is going to start from. And then the lining is not going to be the whole length of the dress. The lining is actually 6 inches shorter than the length of the dress. I want it to be 5 inches short, but because I'm still going to double fold the lining with 1 inch, so I made it 6 inches and then proceed to cutting that out. I cut the lining a little bit wider than the lace because I know that the lace is stretchy, and when I'm sewing it, it might end up stretching. So I added 1 inch to the side of the lining so that it's going to see fabric to stretch on whenever it wants to stretch. For the back panel as well, I make it 7 inches shorter than the neckline, than the shoulder line. So from the shoulder line, I measured 7 inches downward, and the length is 6 inches short as well. And then towards the zip side for the back is a little bit slanted. Then I proceeded to cutting that out. For the sleeve now, it is a 180-degree flay starting from the shoulder. The length is 24 inches, and I'm cutting for the 2 sleeves at the same time. So I'm dividing the armhole by 4 now. Our armhole is 17. I divided it by 4 and then I marked that. Then the sleeve length is 24 and I marked exactly 24. I didn't add any allowance because I'm still going to add a little extension to this sleeve. Then I proceeded to sharing it because I cut for the 2 sleeves at the same time. The next thing is to bring out pattern, which is going to serve as the extension on the tip of the sleeve. So I just brought out pattern as much as I needed, and then this is how I'm going to place it on the tip of the sleeve. Moving to sewing now, we are going to start our sewing with the front panel, and the first thing we'll do is to fold the neckline, double fold the neckline, and then double fold the tip of the doll face. After then, we'll do that to the back panel as well. Double fold the neckline and then double fold the tip of the doll face. After doing that, the next thing is to turn. On a good day when you are turning, the right side of the fabric has to face the right side of the lining. But in this case of lining a lace and using doll face to line a lace and a single lined, the right side of the lace is going to face the wrong side of the lining. So pin that together, do that for the front and the back. The right side of the lace is going to face the wrong side of the lining. So when I was done doing that, I took that to my sewing machine and then I turned the two sides. For the front, I turned the two sides, and then for the back, I turned the two sides. One side is for zip allowance and the other is for, one side is for zip and the other side is for shaping. I know you guys get what I'm saying. So just take that to your sewing machine and then you neatly turn. When you are done turning, give that a very, very good press, and basically that is it. Please guys, in case you are seeing my channel for the first time and you've not subscribed, please don't forget to do and turn on the notification bell so you can get notified when next I upload new video on this channel. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. So when I was done turning, this is what my front panel is looking like, and then this is what my back panel is looking like as well after turning. So after turning, the next thing to do is to determine where you want your sleeve to start from. I think this depends on the person's height or the person's preference, basically. So for this person, her full length is 58. She's not really a tall person. Her full length is, in fact, her full length is 57. I'm just using 58. So since our actual full length is 57, I'm going to be measuring 35 because she doesn't want her slit too long. So from the shoulder line, I marked 35. So from that 35 downward is going to serve as the slit, is the part that is going to open. And the next is to determine where I want the zip to stop. So just pick up your zip and then from the neckline, put it on the body of your dress and mark where you want it to stop. I want mine to be as long as possible so that she's not going to stress too much before she can put it on, because the longer the zip, the easier it is to put on a dress. Then from that zip point to where the slit starts, you are going to stitch it down very well. After this, you are going to face the right side to the right side for the front and back, and then the next thing is to join the shoulder line, then fold the neckline as tiny as possible before fixing the zip. We are not fixing zip at this point. We are doing this before fixing the zip because we are going to fold the neckline together. I hope you guys get what I'm saying. So when you are done doing that, proceed to fixing your zip. The next thing to do after all of this is to start shaping, and then to shape, divide. I love to start my shaping from the back. It's easier because it gives me a clue on the middle of the dress. Like I can obviously pick the middle of the dress because where the zip is automatically the middle. So from that point, divide your measurement by 4, your bust divided by 4, you mark that. Then your waistline divided by 4, you mark that. I'm saying divided by 4 because I'm starting my measurement from the zip. If you can see the way I place my tape rule, I'm starting my measurement from the zip to the shaping side. So I'm still dividing by 4 at this point. Then depending on how fitted you want the lower part of the dress to be, I mean how pencil, just chalk it straight down depending on how pencil you want it to be. So after that, flip to the other side. You can now start dividing your measurement by 2 from the initial shaping to the other side. Divide your bust by 2, divide your waist by 2. I'm dividing my first hip as well. That's the skirt waist. That is what I'm measuring now. This measurement is for first hip. before the actual hip. Our actual hip is 36, so I'm going to be dividing the 36 by 2 as well. Then I'll proceed to marking 18. Then I'm going to connect these 4 points together. Then depending on how fitted I want the lower part of my dress to be, I'm just going to take my hand straight down. After this, the next thing to do is to retrim your armhole, and at this point, this is what my dress is looking like. So to retrieve your armhole, you have to be sure of your shoulder. Our shoulder is actually 14, and I'm going to be using exactly 14 because the net is stretchy. I'm not going to be adding allowance. You know, when you are sewing a dress that has sleeve, you're supposed to add allowance like ½ inch to your shoulder, but I'm not going to be adding. I'm going to be using exactly 14 because the fabric I'm working with is stretchy. If your fabric is not stretchy, you should add ½ inch. So after then, proceed to retrimming your armhole, and after retrimming, you have to measure to be sure that the armhole is actually the number it's supposed to be. So our armhole is 17, and I measured here. After trimming, I got 8.5, which on multiplication of 2 is actually 17. So do the same thing to the other side. So these are the patterns I brought out from the rest of the fabric that I'm going to attach to the sleeve. I'm just sharing it equally so that I don't end up using I don't end up using more on a particular sleeve. So I shared it equally before proceeding to using it. So after sharing it now, I'm still going to place it on each sleeve so that I can know if what I've shared is enough, or if I'm going to add like half inch gap between each of them before the next one. I hope you guys get. So I tried it on it before taking it to my sewing machine, and I realized that it is enough and even remaining. So I took it to my sewing machine, I stitched it down, I gave it a very good press. The next thing to do at this point is to attach my sleeve to the armhole. So just proceed to attaching your sleeve to the armhole as well as neat as possible. And guys, when I was done, this is what I have. Like, this dress is so simple and beautiful. So the rest of the pattern, I just attached it on the chest, on the bust region, and then on the waistline, so that it appears fuller than, the pattern on it appears fuller than the rest, like the remaining body of the dress. And basically this is the dress. I just raised the sleeve up like that. It's actually the sleeve that I raised up like that. I hope somebody found this video helpful and interesting. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and then share my video amidst your soulmate as much as you can. Thank you so much for sticking with me from the beginning of this video till this point, if you've been with me. So this is the sleeve, the bell sleeve. It's very full. Please, if you have any question, do not hesitate to ask me in the comment section. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.